I am live and I am early. Good. I'm already sitting here laughing. So I'm laughing at my scroll. Patty is not an attorney. I'm so petty. I'm the pettiest person I know. Seriously. Super petty. Can you read it? Patty is not an attorney, a therapist, a judge, or a masseuse. So bad. Or I gotta add to it. I do. Like I'm not a psych nurse. It's what was she? She was a imposter psych nurse. Or in HR. That's oh my god, get through this. How? There's some shade. While you were all sitting here, I wrote a song. So it gets even worse. Or a blackmailer or a murderer, right? Even though, or a town rapist. That's what that bitch called me. That's what she called me. It's 9 o'clock. My hair is falling. I had to go buy ponytails. Oh, please don't. Oh, she fly. I know who you are still. Good evening, everyone. I like these late night 9 o'clock. I should turn the big lights off. Oh, well, thank you. I used to wear scrubs all the time and I always had to have funky ones. I wore funky scrubs with funky nursing shoes, like that had like peace signs on them or something. I'm such a rebel. I couldn't wear just what everyone else was wearing. That's why I worked night shifts, so I didn't have to worry about it. But I was cute when I was a nurse. I was thin. I was a redhead. Oh, it's nice times. Hi, Kimber. Hi, Susan. How are you? Patty said it's PM. Oh, that's from this morning. They thought I made a mistake. Nope. I had so much to do today. So much to do. Yeah, it was always scheduled for the PM because I had so much to do today. I actually did it the correct way this time. So my church is having a yard sale, so I got an opportunity to clear out my garage with the junk we threw away, and the stuff I'm going to give away is in my truck. So I'll take that over in the morning. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? Hey, Mama Deeds. Nice to see you. Hi, Chris. Looking forward to see y'all. Guess I will take a late. Yes, I'm Patty Wilson, and this is Patty's Playhouse. And tonight's episode of Anxiety Recovery Series is on envy. Because it's not good to envy people. I was thinking. I didn't actually try to think. Someone's texting me late. Why? What did I do wrong? Oh, they're just talking about my time changes. My time changes. So anyway, I was thinking, when was the last time I really felt envious? That it felt like I was occupying my mind. I know when. It was 1985. And I was so in love with someone who was really old, older than me. Now he's really old. He's still alive. But I was so envious. I mean, the green eyes of envy were just tough. Luckily, I went away to the service. I didn't act out on it. I mean, I was just envious. I was like, why can't I be with him? Because you're 18 and he's in his 40s. That's why. Now it's hip. But I was like, that is probably the last time that I was really, really envious of someone else that didn't know me or, but I was like, so I can't think of another time. I'm sure if I sat about it and pondered, I just don't feel, I feel like it's a waste of time. I remember being in elementary school. I went to Catholic school, so it was 1 through 8. I felt a little envious because I didn't live close to, like, we didn't live close to neighbors. We weren't in like a curbed or sidewalk neighborhood where it was so easy to make friends and go see friends. So that our homes were further apart. I was a little envious of the people, I called them sidewalk neighbors, neighborhoods, who had those, but that's all I could think of. I wasn't envious of my siblings. Never was, because I was a blonde. They were brunettes. The boys had blonde hair. I had blonde hair. I don't know. But I find it's very sad to be envious. So I feel like we're all, I am happy. I think innately, I'm a really happy person. Didn't sound it the way I said it, but I really think I am. Like, I mean, there isn't a day, laughter is my friend, that Scott and I don't talk. He's my business partner, where we just don't laugh and laugh and laugh. I mean, it's incredible. I got a call from a mortgage lender that I hadn't heard from in a while. And he said, I would love to be on your show, the radio show. And I was like, why? Because he's a quiet guy. And he's like, you two look like you have so much fun. And I said, we do. And it's hard to believe because we're very opposite in so many ways, but we just get along fabulously. And I just can't imagine sitting, who am I going to be envious of? Sit in an empty office. I don't understand this parasocial shit that is now a thing, where you feel like you're in a relationship with someone you don't know. But I know that we're all being like, we are being trashed by people we don't know. I'm not a town rapist. I am a nurse. I didn't get convicted of cyber stalking. If you're going to talk about a crime and your last name is fiction, you might want to be accurate. I've never had a DUI. I don't have a parking ticket. I haven't had a speeding ticket, and I don't even know when. I don't know. I just think if you're going to call someone out, I'm good at it. Be accurate when you do it. Don't have a felony. Never been convicted. Not even a no contest. I was, what was the charge? The charge was something about illegal computer use. It wasn't cyber stalking. And I think they're conflating the fact that I have a cybersecurity degree now, not cyber stalking degree. Very different. Very, very different. And it's not a felony. I've never had a felony. I've never had a conviction. Don't have a misdemeanor. Didn't commit petty theft when I was 19 or when I was 58. I don't steal. I do without. If I don't have, I do without. And I would think overall I'm pretty happy. Just had a dinner with my husband. He said, have a great show. I get to talk to people all day from all over the world. I could not imagine a better life after my 3 grown children moved out of the area. Like, I cannot imagine. It's just fabulous. So let me say hi to more people. Patty is not a drunk either. Let me add that to my banner. Thank you so much, Creative Mind. Patty is not a drunk. Oh, I could do 1,000 words there. And has never had a DUI. This is so crazy. It's hilarious, but it's crazy. Thank you, Creative. Hi, Granny. How you doing? Juju. You were going to head to the shower. You still can, Debbie. Any info? Oh, no, that's private. That's the defense. We won't hear about that for a very long time. I'm assuming she showed up. That's all. I know John Laura's been out of the office. So I do know that. I joined Kickin', that's my name on there. So I changed it here for continuity. I don't even know what Kick is. What is Kick? There's Kick, there's Twitch. Who names this shit? DB, you're a mess. I am. As you can see, there's a lot of things I'm not. So, prefer a disclaimer. You thought it started at 9:15. Well, so I clicked onto StreamYard and they entered the studio and I saw all these people waiting and it makes me feel bad, Nellie. Makes me feel bad that people are waiting, so I don't like it. You're not late very much. I was just saying hi to everyone and laughing at myself. So most of the YouTubers like myself really do, except for STS. He always has a guest on. We're all talking to ourselves, talking to the chat. I am not a town rapist. I am not the town rapist. I don't even understand that metaphor. Do you know how many times you could buy this mantle? I've had somebody offer. No one's getting it. I thought about painting it pink. I don't think Scott would like that. I kind of like the old red that it is, the candy apple. Not the town rapist. Not a felon. I voted. We all know I'm getting hate mail because I voted for Trump. So I voted only once in the state that I live in, just in case. I'm getting so much hate mail from that. I just filter it out. So that didn't bother with me. Got here just to hear me laugh. Aw, thank you, Jeannie. That's really nice to say. Cain murdered Abel due to envy. I know. Can you imagine poor Adam and Eve dealing with that? They didn't even have YouTube. Didn't have the YouTube. They didn't have people analyzing every move they made, where they moved to, what school they put their kids in. Can you imagine? I know Justice for Dan is all in for fusty friction, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Don't. Proverbs 14:30. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones, and it ruins your skin. Okay. So this skin is very important. I try not to think about it down here, but this, where the makeup goes, top notch. I'm very happy about it. And I think if I sat all day and frowned and worked, like, never a Botox. Look at that. No Botox, nothing. And I don't even have, like, my daughter. I shouldn't say it, but she got the Botox right here because she has these deep, I forget what she calls them. It's like an H or something. I don't have that. It's hers. It's from her father. But I don't even have that. So pays not to be envious or mean or greedy or a thief or a liar. What else? Or an imposter. You know what else you shouldn't do is project. Like, oh, Patty's an imposter nurse. Meanwhile, my name isn't on a website for the board of nursing. So I don't understand. Hey, D Love of God. Hi, Wild Wild West. We're just going to have fun tonight. I wrote a song. I think you'll enjoy it. Social influencers. So funny to me. So one of the subscribers asked me a real estate question, which I thought was a really good question. I'll keep her name out of it, probably because I don't even remember her first name. So it's super easy for me to not call someone out by the real name unless I've met them at least twice. But anyway, she wrote me a nice email, and her question was about, and I can only speak for Florida, was about fencing. So her neighbor put a fence up, and she wanted to know if she could tie, like she wanted to put her own fence up, but just run perpendicular to his fence line. My first question was, do you have a survey? Second question was, who put his fence up? Did he do it or did someone else do it? Is it on his fence, his line, or your line? Because if you put it on your property, it's just a postage stamp, like 35 by 100. There's only like 6 feet. I mean, it's a very small lot that separates these two homes. He didn't know if it was on his side or not. And I said, well, if it's on your side, you're on the fence, do whatever you want. He just bought your fence unless he moves it. So I called her and she was so excited. I was so embarrassed. She was so excited. I was just calling anybody with any real estate question. And she was so excited. It was really nice. It made me feel really good. And it made me feel better that I knew the answer to her question. But I told her just to get her survey out. Whoever's going to put her fence up, follow the survey markers. Keep a marker in the ground. Like even if you have one of those, we use this small twig of a piece of wood with a pink flag on it. Just cut that off or mark it somehow. And just abut up to his fence with your first fence post. And then use his fence for the rest of it. That's what I told her to do. This guy wanted to try. Stop. This guy said, this is why she called or why she emailed. She wanted to know if he could charge her for going up against his fence. He wanted money. The man didn't even know if it was on his own line or not. So I was like, that would be inappropriate. He put it in the ground. The air is controlled by the FAA. You can use that part of the fence, just abut right up next to it. So it's not your post. It's his post. So that's what she did. It was a nice talk, but it was really nice. She's like, you're an influencer. No, I'm not. Like, no. How can you tune into the radio show? Well, you could, if you're local, you can listen to it on 93.3 FM. And if you're not and you just enjoy podcasts, you can go to iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher's out of business now. SoundCloud, I used to do this whole thing. iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeart, Audible, whatever your favorite podcast platform. And it's the same. The lips, everything is the same. Patty's Playhouse. Let me put the, oh, I need to do that. I didn't put my little thingamabobber up. Where is it? Where's my? I don't see it now. My overlay. They moved. Oh, here it is. They moved everything around, in case you didn't know. StreamYard did, because usually I have an overlay with my logo. But you'll see the logo with the lips and the cherry, and that's me. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Oh, look at you with the radio app. Real Talk 93.3 FM. Oh, thank you, Michael, my little Cleveland Browns friend. You've been, see what I'm saying? Like, how can you just not feel all warm and fuzzy? I'm looking forward to this live all day. That's amazing. Thank you so much. You're a smidge late and I was a smidger early. Smidger. You're in Jamaica. Oh, man. Super jealous on that one. You did make me laugh. Not the town rapist. No. And not a drunk. I'm completely sober when I rant. Ugh. Hi, Mia. How are you? Kick is like rumble. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll have to look at it, but I'm going to phrase it. You know I'm never going to remember this, dear. I don't even want to call you by your first name now. She fly. I need to put my my Facebook lives on the Rumble. I really do. I don't think about it. Yeah, you were in a tagline. Yeah, I think she knows. I think she knows. Oh, so funny. Shabbat shalom, Mr. Oh, hello. I'm not I'm not a bed-breaking whore or tramp. I like to use the word tramp. I think it's more like 50s, you know, Mad Men-ish. Whore's harsh. Oh, look at you. I mean, I'll get a screenshot of my bra next. Isn't like whore's really harsh. Tramp's like, but I have my bling shirt on. Bling made me this. It says grateful on it. It's nice. Hi, Marta. Allie's gal. Al's gal. Al's gal. Ooh, how is Al? Look at this school board fiasco. I don't think I know what you're talking about. We have our own fiascos here in Leon County. Bad, 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 bad. I'm not whiny and I'm not boring. And ooh, I know how to use inflection in my voice. Inflection is really important. Like if I were either one of those people that we know we're talking about, I would do what I did and go to Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a small little stipend. You meet people, you have some fun, and more importantly, you learn how to speak in front of people. Super fun. Donna D. I was on my way downstairs to do my exercises. However, I will be watching you live. Laughter is, thank you. I think so too. I'm pissing on her tree. The funny thing is I can hear Blink say it. Like I really can. Thank you. Do I use skin block? I don't. I am literally under these lights, fluorescent lights, 14 hours a day. Oh, no tummy tuck for Patty either. And you could tell. Yeah. But I'm really all like natural. I'm very lucky to not have that. I do have sun blemishes or age blemishes. They're on my hands now. Ugh. I need Esoterica. They don't make it anymore. I am wearing one of your shirts. I did show everyone. Why are people taking sides? Because it is social media, and that is what people do. It is. I have. I talk about it all the time. Living Tallahassee has. I've had that. How long? That group? Maybe She Fly knows more than I do. 8 years, 7.5 years, and I have learned more about human nature on a computer or iPad. You know, your screen time for adults. They should do courses on community groups. They should really, in a sociology class, they should absolutely have a course on community Facebook groups. It's absolutely petrifying what people can say, thinking that they don't have any consequences. There's just no consequences for what they say. So today, I think I deleted it, but it happens a lot here. there was a dead body in the road on Monroe Street, which is 27. So that Monroe Street /US 27, well, State Road 27 will take you to Georgia. I guess it is US, sorry. It'll take you to Georgia, like it goes through Georgia. And someone walked into the middle of the road, like they just walked out and got hit by one car, got knocked over, then got hit by another car, then were unalived. So they're, dead in the road. And someone shared it in this Facebook group. Well, this Facebook group is 76,000 people. The town is 220, 60,000 active at any given time. So it's a lot of people. And the news channels that you see all the time locally with Donna Adelson, WCTV, WTXL, the Fox station, these people are all in the group. They tell me all the time, that's where they get their news, is this group, which makes sense because people are on the ground. It's like Elon Musk says, we are the news now. It's not network news, ABC, NBC. It's just not like that anymore. Anyway, this girl is offended because someone posted with a video. You couldn't see a body. Law enforcement was there. Emergency was there. And the person wrote, there's a dead body in the street. And this white girl who was, I guess, trying to be ghetto. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know, and I don't care. And she says, it's like it's my fault this person got hit by two cars. Just, if you're ever in the group, you'll see that. It's like I'm the bad person. So she's like, Patty, you have no humanity. Okay. I didn't write the post. I approved the post. But because I approved the post, she is implying that I have no humanity. Fine. And she's like, someone died. May they rest in peace. So my response to that was, would you feel better if the poster wrote R.I.P.? And I meant it. I wasn't being mean. Would you feel better about a dead body in the road that you don't know who the person is, but there is a dead body, we all die, and it's in the road after just jaywalking across Monroe? Oh no, it was Capitol Circle. It was even worse. And she's like, she's like, you have a smelly snatch. I was like, what does that have to do with the dead body in the road? Someone's filming the emergency vehicles. I asked her if she would feel better if it was R&B, and then she's like, you have a smelly snatch. And I was like, what the fuck? I had to think about what she was even talking about. I'm 58, not 20. And I was like, oh, you're gone. Like, I just removed her. But I'm like, that's how, like, people don't think they have any recourse. They can call you a felon. You have to spend $70,000 to fix it. They can call you whatever they want. There's absolutely no recourse. And until there's recourse, I mean, you can have freedom of speech, but you know what you can't do? And this is coming up because of Tesla. And what was the pipeline that just sued Greenpeace? There was a pipeline in, I think it's North Dakota Access Pipeline. So Greenpeace created a concerted effort. They have to pay $660 million. How do they write it? So I don't want to get it wrong. A jury in North Dakota decided that the environmental group Greenpeace must pay hundreds of millions of dollars to the pipeline company Energy Transfer and is liable for defamation and other claims of protests, alleging defamation and orchestrating the protesters on the Dakota Access Pipeline in 16 and 17, claiming the organization incited people to protest by using a misinformation campaign. And it's happening with Tesla. And it's like that failed vice president gay guy who doesn't want to admit he's gay, but he's pretty effeminate. He's out there saying, I enjoy the day that the Tesla stock stinks. Well, you got to be really careful about that, because what people are doing is they're matching those very words with other celebrities and political people. And Mark Kelly was one, and he's a senator from Arizona, and he said all but the same thing. And then it came out with the Department of Justice saying, if you do this, be very careful, because if there's a concerted effort among politicians to sink the Tesla stock, it'll be like Greenpeace. Like, you have to be very careful what you do in that kind of position. When people have a concerted effort like Aaron Rickards and Kathleen Monkman are doing against myself, Mia, Adelson right now, we're just 3. There'll be more because they can't help themselves. When they do that, or Jibs and Jabs, I forgot Jibs and Jabs, there's 4 of us. Then they say, report them, they're doing harm. Do this, they're doing harm. And you're creating that. It makes it a lot easier to sue you. Because I have spoke to 2 attorneys, and I'm waiting on the 3rd for a callback. He's been busy. But as soon as I get that, it is a lot easier to sue for defamation and libel when you're all saying the same thing. And you're all saying report. And you're all saying this. I would be very careful for people. Defamation is hard. Libel is hard. But when you have a video, it's a lot easier. And you're running that video 55,000 times, whatever it is. Fancy's Aaron Rickards video the other night was 8,000 times. That's 8,000 times of defamation. Not one time, 8,000 times. Same with Kathleen calling me and I have her copy. I have them both. So they can post and delete. I'm grabbing them and other people are grabbing them as soon as they post. It's like done, download, good luck. So when she speaks, it's not as many. Fair play. It's not. But she said, I got my information from Aaron. That's what she said. I'm getting it. I haven't talked to Fancy, but we talk all the time. We're not the Triad, but we talk all the time. If you can prove a concerted effort with discovery is a thing, Aiden Kearney, and you have phone calls, and it doesn't matter if you delete them. Because I have one attorney that said he'll pay for this suit up to a certain point because it's such a good suit. Multiple states, multiple issues, but the same conversation. And they talked about being in cahoots doing it. That's a problem. I didn't think about that until I spoke to an attorney. And that thing is viewed thousands of times, and they're monetizing it. So there's an effort behind that to damage other people, and they vocalized it. Think about it. It's vocal. Plus the graphic against Jibs and Jab. That person is causing harm. Not harm to her, harm in general. She's using the Dan Markel murder, which is even more despicable, makes me freaking sick to my stomach, and saying, we are harming justice. I'm helping a murderer. You're doxing someone's mom, but that's okay. It's me that's the problem. Okay, it's a concerted effort. It's been ongoing for months and months and months. Keep it up. Because one of you I know has money and a house. And if I find out the husband was helping, little short man with bald hair that apparently can't lay on a bed properly, that too. I'm not going to stop. I'm telling you. I haven't slept much because I'm finding out everything and every little trail every ID crawl, every little word, everything you both are doing. And it's perfectly legal. It's all on the internet. OSINT. It's perfectly legal to just find those little pig trails, and I mean that sincerely, pig trails, to find words, consistent words. I'm doing all the work. Someone else will package it up, and then we will present it. And if I can get an attorney to sign off on it and say, hey, I'm happy to take this, would the others like to sign on too? I'm going to ask them to sign on too. There's power in more than one. And there's power when two people connive and can try to control a narrative that is absolutely false. I mean, it just is. You can't call me a felon and say I'm happy about being a felon when I'm not a felon. You're attributing things to me that you can't take back. You just can't. I won't allow it. You put it in writing, you morons. You're so stupid. You literally put in writing, she might be a nursing assistant, but not a nurse. Meanwhile, you don't know how to look up a website. Clearly, the Board of Nursing is something that's foreign to you because your name is on the Board of Nursing in Arizona saying you're an imposter. So your word is literally meaningless. And even after that, you have this massage business, which there's a lot of rumors about that, dearie. They ain't gonna lie about it. This MFR thing that you're doing, kind of odd. So, and you have BSN on there. Yes, that's your degree, but you're still implying that you're a nurse. So you're losing a loophole. Then I have, because I asked, Anxiety Recovery Studios series. I wanted to know two questions. Did you enjoy? No, actually, I have more. Did you enjoy the series? Did you learn from the series? Did you share any really personal information that Kathy Monkman has on you that she could eventually share with Fancy Fiction, aka Aaron Rickards? Only a couple people said yes. I've had a lot of responses. And only a couple people said yes. And I was like, I'll say a prayer for you that you're not next. So keep it on the down low because you could be next. If you vocalize against these two people, or you say they're not nice, or you call them a bully, which in fact, then guess what? You could be next. So you can't unsend those emails. Did the feeling that you had when you were watching this series, was there an implication that you heard that this person was a medical professional and that your information was going to be kept private and that they had experience in doing this? And they said yes. I said, okay. I'm like, for right now, it's just data until it isn't. From what I know in Pennsylvania, and only because I called, if you imply that you are a medical professional and you do it on video, just remember, discovery is a thing. Those videos are there forever. They don't just come down. And you're telling people that because you were a masseuse, not were, and because you were a psych nurse for 3 years, maybe, I don't know. I don't even think you were certified in psychiatric nursing, but you could have been, and I could be wrong. And let's pretend you were. You weren't when you did the videos. So like, I'm very specific here in Florida. I'm not a licensed nurse here in Florida. I'm a licensed nurse in Pennsylvania. I don't have a current CPR. It's lapsed since I left the Red Cross board. So I don't have one. So I don't do CPR. Like, I would never, I might want to do CPR, If someone falls out, I may take the risk, but it's a risk on me to do so because I don't have CPR. I don't have a card. I've thought about going to get it in my spare time, but I don't have spare time. So it's a challenge. But if someone fell out for me, I would knowingly be taking a risk if I did CPR. Even though I know how to do it, I don't have a card. So you got to think about these things. I know how to give a shot, but I'm not giving a shot in Florida. I'm not a nurse. I don't have a doctor's order. I don't say I'm a nurse in Florida. I'm a nurse in Pennsylvania. You've got to be very specific when you hold a license. Now, when you have no license, like Kathleen Monkman, she no longer has a license. There's loopholes in that. You can say things, but it's how the person on the other end perceives it. If they've perceived that they were misled, that you are a medical professional when you're not a medical professional in the state of Pennsylvania, there may be liability in that. It just depends. Depends on whose attorney's talking, right? The better the attorney, likely the more liability. So I would say if you were a person who no longer has a license and you're no longer in the medical profession and you're not wearing scrubs and you don't walk around with a stethoscope around your mouth, you may not open your freaking mouth and imply such things and hurt people, because it's hurtful when someone shares their life with you and you in turn share it with some bitch in California who wants to use it against people in a concerted effort to bring down someone like me who doesn't give a shit about you, other than I will be prepared, as I'm always prepared, and I want to know who I'm dealing with. Well, now I know who I'm dealing with. That's all. I am a hell of a researcher, and I don't care how quiet you think you are on the internet or behind whatever anonymous name you have. I went to school for 2 years for this, but I was good at it before. So I'm really good at it now. And everything I do is legal. I'm not a licensed private detective. I'm just using available resources for the common good of myself. I'm using them for myself because I will need them in the very near future. I can present it in a package and give it to an attorney and say, here we are. What would you like to do? You take 70, I'll take 30. Just don't make me pay up front. Okay, he said. I said, okay, let me know. So that's that's just a little piece of advice. If you're going to imply you're a medical professional, if you're going to imply that you are an expert in MFR, which is, Max is going to tear me apart, but myofascia, something. And you had one course, maybe another. I don't know how many courses, but I heard only one. You're not an expert. You're just not. If you're rolling around a ball on the floor, you're not a physical therapist. You're not a chiropractor. You're not certified in like fitness. Jillian Michaels isn't even, I don't even know you have like Tae Bo. Do you have a Tae Bo? Remember Tae Bo? I don't know. Yoga, anything? Jazzercise? Doubt it. I mean it. Like, it is a thing. And it's the easiest thing. That's where you two have stepped in it. You've made it super easy for me to go, point the finger, point the finger. They're talking because they're saying the same thing. It's a concerted effort. It's not as big as Greenpeace. Won't be as big as Tesla, but it'll make an example out of you, and that'll enjoy. Because you wanted to show me saying something about Elliot Roy Jacobs, but I disclaimed, I could be right, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, so be it. But even if, let's pretend, because I don't have everything, Ruth Markel knows the story, as Aaron implies. Elliot Roy Jacobs was so far out of the family of Donna Jacobs, he doesn't appear in any obituary. for any family member, like in the 70s. So I doubt she would have met him. She might have known the story. She might not. I don't know. Doesn't even matter to me. But the man that was out of their lives for a very long time. And there's a reason. And maybe you know the story. Maybe I don't. But I clearly can disclaim that because I did. I contacted one person who's not a widow. You can't contact two widows, right? That doesn't even make sense. There's one widow, one ex-wife. I contacted one. I don't even know if I had the right email. I have no idea. I tried. There was no response. How dare you say that I am a horrible person because I contacted someone that was literally none of your damn business. You don't like me. So anything I say on here should be meaningless to you, but it's not. It's not meaningless because you literally said you're jealous of my numbers. You're insane for even saying that. Not like medically insane that I know of yet. But why would you think that? Why are you sitting there by yourself in your apartment worrying about any of other content creators and how much credit you get or you don't get? You deserve no credit. It's public information. Public. You haven't spent the time to trademark your shit, copyright your shit. You've done nothing. I don't even understand why you would care that someone has the same story that you have that's on a public docket in Florida. You lived here 100 years ago. You don't live here now. We're podunk, remember? I don't even understand a borough. I know nothing about a borough, but you know what I noticed? Some people live in New York City and some people don't. Some people say they live in New York City, but they live in other outskirts of New York City. Even north of New Rochelle. They don't live in New York City. May have lived in New York City, just really good about hiding it. But they definitely lived in the outskirts of New York City. Why would you, like, what do you care? All I'm saying, in a nutshell, is if you go after Mia Wallace, you just have to flick a switch. Because I don't care. I really don't. I can watch you squirm. She doesn't even know. I can watch you squirm all the way from here. I would just be very careful. And this whole thing, like even with your Reddits, multiple Reddits, that's even been had. Like anytime you have an anonymous thing going, Aaron, one of us is finding it. And we're going to shut it down. You're like whack-a-mole. We're just going to keep shutting it down and shutting it down and shutting it down. I would just be very careful tomorrow night. If you go after that woman, I would be very careful. Because if you did commit blackmail, which I do believe you did, and you sent it over an email, there's a big problem. And we got 5 years from the time you sent it. 5. It's a long time. One of us might be a felon. One of us might not be. So I have a song for you, Aaron. I thought you might enjoy this. Are you ready? It'll be super fun. I'm going to mute this mic. I use my Suno, but I think you'll enjoy it. You ready? Okay.
Watching all the ones who made it left me reaching for a spark. Comment sections burning, yeah, I'm throwing shade behind a little keyboard where the battle's never. I see their faces shining and there's something lights. While I'm stuck here tight, drowning inside. Oh, fancy's got a front row seat to all the dreams she never chased. Sitting fire in the comments, trying to put them in their place. The more she tries, the less she shines. Lost in envy, lost in time. Oh, fancy, don't you know you could glow if you let go. Calls herself the OG, says she paves the way, but the only
I don't know why. I don't know why there's an echo. Let me do this again. Maybe it's too high.
scrolling late at night, screen glowing in the dark. Watching all the ones who made it left me reaching for a spark. Comment sections burning, yeah, I'm throwing shade again behind a little keyboard where the battles never end. I see their faces shining and names up in light.
I wonder why it's echoing. Let me do it again. Damn.
Scrolling late at night, screen glowing in the dark. Watching all the ones who made it left me reaching for a spark. Comment sections burning, yeah, I'm throwing shade again behind a little keyboard where the battles never end. I see their faces shining, their names up in lights, while I'm stuck here typing, drowning in spite. Oh, fancy's got a front row seat to all the dreams she never chased. Spitting fire in the comments, trying to put them in their place. But the more she types, the less she shines. Lost in envy, lost in time. Oh, fancy, don't you know you could glow if you'd let go. She calls herself the OG, says she paved the way, but the only thing she's building is a brand new wall of hate. Every like's a dagger, every view's a crime. Why them, not me? It's running through her mind. But all that anger, all that fight won't turn her name into neon lights. Oh, Fancy's got a front row seat to all the dreams she never chased. Maybe one day she'll put the phone down, step into the light, stop hiding in the sound. Trade the bitterness for something real. Take the stage, feel what they feel. But tonight she's scrolling, fingers flying fast. living through a screen while the future just flies past. Dreams you never chased, begging fire in the comments, trying to put them in their place. But the more she hides, the less she shines, lost in envy, lost in time. Oh, fancy, don't you know you could glow if you'd let go?
Was that better? I don't know what that is, Pepper. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I didn't write it. I just put some ideas into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT wrote it. Oh, I'm glad. I love Jameis. Yeah, ChatGPT did it. I was like, hey, Chat, I need help. I do it all the time. I love Chat. I did turn off the mic. But I turned off the, I turned off this mic that I'm talking into. But I also turned off the StreamYard mic. So I did both. Oh, yeah. No, ChatGPT did it. Much better without the reverb. Thank you, Lily. But yeah, I think it's hit home. Makes me try to think nicely about her. See, this is my chat. Chat wrote it. I give credit where credit's due. Let me see. I didn't. Which one? What was the last one I got? The last one, was it the big trial? Oh, okay. Here's John's Elegant Hurry song. Let me go back.
Just after noon on the 1st of June, they rolled up in a brand new Ford. One wore a turban, one had a beard, one had her head behind a board. They looked around the little town, then they crossed the street. One said, I want some wine. One wanted some water. One said, please buy me something to eat. We're not the Triad. We have to say that all the time. We just brought along our broke-ass friend because he hasn't got a dime. We never wear a Triad. They all said with a smile, we're just all three here at the same time to report on a big trial. They came out of the bar and headed back to the car and met some people in the street. They said no autographs or pictures, please. We just stopped in for something to eat. A big guy spoke up who sounded gruff and said, "Who the hell are you? We're just trying to get across the street. If you'll step back and let us through, we're not a triad. We have to say that all the time. We just brought along our broke-ass friend because he hasn't got a dime. We never were a triad," they all said with a smile. We're just all three here at the same time to report on a big trial. We're not a triad. We have to say that all the time. We just brought along our broke-ass friend because he hasn't got a dime. We never were a triad, they all said with a smile. We're just all three here at the same time to report on a big trial. We're just all three here at the same time to report on a big trial.
I'm checking to see if I can find the other one, John. Just a second. The Triad one's funny though. I'm gonna put these on my phone so I can listen to them in the car. I don't think I have anything. Donna's song, Wild Monkeys. Oh, here it is. Oh, this is the real OG? Is that what you called it? And there's the Sex on the Beach. I don't have one from her. I have the real OG. Is that it? Yes, that is it. Okay, I'll play. Because you know I love this shit. It's so funny. If anybody wants a copy of these, I can email them to you. I can email them to you.
YouTube content creators are a competitive family. When it comes to the Adelson trials, I am the only OG. I have the best sources, all the others just sit around wishing they had information like me. 'Cause I'm the real OG, I'm fancy fiction. They ask what's gonna happen with Charlie's house and boat. Does he have a shot at a new trial with the appeal that they wrote? I give them my wisdom, it's become a tradition. When it comes from me, they have it from the OG. I'm fancy fiction. People wanna know what's gonna happen in Donna's trial. When will they arrest Wendy? Is it gonna be a very long while? I give them their answers with my utmost conviction. I tell them what I think, my word is safe as a bank. I'm fancy fiction. Some of these newcomers don't always get things right. I always correct them because I have the best inside. Sometimes they may think I'm just wanting addiction. I put in the work and do a lot of research. I'm fancy fiction. If you use my work product on YouTube or on Reddit, all I ask of you is that you give me the credit. Then they'll know it's my work, it's just your depiction. It was reported first by me. 'Cause I'm the real OG, I'm fancy fiction.
That is accurate. I am not a singer. It's accurate. Charlie Ward fan here. Well, do you live here, Lady Lex? Do you live near here? He's putting up, what is that going to be? Does anybody, I know it's Champions something. It's this sports center thing down the road from this office. Champions Ranch, it's called. Everybody loves Charlie Ward. Boy, my husband sure does. Woo. It's not far from this little office. It is a faith-based, multi-sport, multi-service, multidisciplinary campus, which I think is super cool. Serving youth and families, empowering who visit to become lifelong champions. He doesn't live far from here either. There's Charlie and his family, his wife. She's really pretty. Kids. Charlie and Tanya Ward. I met them right during COVID 2020. Really nice. They were very nice to me. He coaches high school. Coaches high school ball. Coaches basketball right now. So people really, he's beloved here for sure. You love all your boys at FSU football, baseball, and basketball. I can't say I love the football team. I support the football team, but I love Penn State. So there's a difference. But I do, my husband, he's really enjoying the baseball team right now. We went to Culver's for dinner. Culver, Culver. And he was trying to pay attention to me while monitoring the baseball game. Watch a show about Allison's mom. I want to share that. Hold on. Allison sent me something earlier today, which I watched. The Gray Hughes. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. Gray Hughes produced a video, which I thought was very well done because a man is talented, with a concise, it's not even that long, story about Nancy Galvani and the murder. It's really well done. Oh, there you go. Hi, Allison. So I just shared Gray Hughes' link. That's not what the link is, what I just did. I hope it is. Oh, yours isn't. Oh, okay. But yeah, it was. I thought it was well done, but I'm a big fan of his. So I'm not. Oh, and don't pay attention to this extremely ugly artwork that Scott bought for $10. But he needed something large for a big house. So that's what he picked. $10 at Living Harvest charity shop. Can you see the painting? Do you really want to? Somebody's riding a tire swing. Guy's flicking a marble. It's not attractive. Oh, well, I'm glad you like the songs. Our little variety hour. Well, I mean, like, you gotta, not my type of painting either, but it is large. $10. What do you expect? Over My Dead Body is a podcast. But I don't know what the reference was to. Somebody wrote that up here, said I didn't play along. I didn't do what the Over My Dead Body podcast did. That's the one where Robert's in it, right? Isn't that the one? We played marbles. Yeah, not what I thought either. We played marbles as kids too. Played all the outdoor games. My parents were like, you go outside. That's where we were too. You go outside. It's not. It's his hand. It's his hand, and then there's another girl that's playing games. It's like hand done. I'm sure someone thought that it was artwork. I mean, it is artwork, just not my artwork. It's not signed, though, surprisingly. Is it signed? My watercolors are better than that big painting. Oh, yeah, it's true. You don't have that. It looked obscene. It's not obscene. It's kids playing. I was an only child for 7 years. I remember playing with my jug of pennies and lining them up like they were military. That is creative. That's why you're so creative now. All three, you have 3 sons, and they all went to FSU. However, you're originally from Ohio. Thus, you love the Buckeyes. Wow. I can say I honestly don't. Penn State, Ohio thing. It used to be like Pennsylvania in high school, they had the big 33, where it was the best 33 Pennsylvania high school players played the best Maryland high school players. And then now I believe it's Ohio and Pennsylvania. You've been teaching your grandson to shoot marbles. Oh, nice. That's cool. Hey, Gladys, my little upfront person. What are you doing with it? I'm not doing anything. I delivered it. I put it in my truck and drove it across town. Scott will do something with it. Not me. No. Nope. So did you all see, well, today would have been Wendy Adelson. She's the daughter of Donna Adelson, if you don't know. I should remind. I'm Patty Wilson. This is Patty's Playhouse. And we follow the Dan Markel trial. Well, he's not on trial. He was murdered in his garage on Truscott in Benton Hills, Tallahassee, Florida. And one of the conspirators, who was also charged with murder, Donna Adelson, for hearings coming up on the 25th, which is what? That is Tuesday at 2:30. So I'll be going to that. Her daughter, Wendy, with an I, was deposed today in Austin, Texas. And her son, who is incarcerated, life without parole, is in South Dakota awaiting transport to Tallahassee, Florida. I hope they drive him. And he gets deposed, I believe, April 28th. Big news here. The other thing I mentioned was Judge Everett. So Judge Everett, here in Florida, the appellate judges can be on the bench for 20 years. So there's a forced retirement, term limits. Isn't that shocking? Anyway, it's hard to get term limits through, I guess, on a federal level, but our state has term limits. And this judge must retire. So there's a seat. There's 13 judges that have applied for this position on the First District Court of Appeals, which is here in Tallahassee. 3 of which are from this area. And 1 is Judge Stephen Everett. So if he were to get the role, I'm sure he would do Donna's trial because they're not going to delay that. However, if Wendy is arrested, he would not be doing Wendy's. Am I going to cover the Lori Daybell trial, which starts April 1st? It truly depends on my school schedule. I am graduating May 1st, so I have a lot of schoolwork that month. But if I have it all caught up, like I'm learning, which I love, I'm surprised I love it so much, is Amazon Web Services right now. I'm ahead because it's easy. And I have a marketing course that is literally the most time-consuming thing for 3 credits I've ever experienced. It's 3 credits, people. It shouldn't be like 15, 20 hours worth of work. To be honest, it's dumb. It's not dumb for the new students who are just graduating from high school. No. It's dumb for me. I have a career. I have a couple businesses. I have to write a resume draft, fine. I have to do a cover letter, fine. I have to go on a job interview. I was like, lady, I'll just take the 0. Like, this is ridiculous. They should modify it for some of that. Like, that should be a bonus. And why do I have to go on a job interview? I worked it out with someone, so I'm going to be able to do it. But it's just that kind of dumb stuff. Why does that? I know they want you to be the whole person, blah, 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 blah. But this is a science associates. It's an associates of science. I can do the resume, the cover letter, all done, perfect, lovely, great. I don't understand the rest of it. I really don't. And the professor is really nice. She'll be like, Patty, I know you're not going to get a job, but we need you to fake it. I was like, God, what busy work. 3 credits. But I have to do it. Do you have an opinion? You could stop there. And or any experience about tiny homes on a rented lot? I respect your opinion as a realtor. Depends on the lot rent. I watch those videos on YouTube. I do. I like them. I think it would depend on the lot rent, what you get. Some of those tiny homes on YouTube, if you ever watch the videos, they're absolutely amazing. Folding stairs, so creative about how they use 500 square feet with a loft. Incredible outdoor spaces. I think it would just depend on the lot rent. If you're paying almost as much lot rent as you were if you were in a standard home on a standard lot with water, sewer, and electric, I see no reason to be in a tiny home other than you just don't want maintenance. But that's it. I mean, it really just depends on how you live. And what's the resale? So some of these lot rents, when my parents first moved to Florida, they lived in Ormond Beach. What was it called? It was like some bear. It had bear in the name of it. My dad, he didn't think about it when he went there. They bought this. It was a manufactured home on a lot rent, but the train track was nearby. Something bear. And then it was Bike Week. It was not for Bike Week. But it was a really nice Bear Creek Village, it was called. 55 and over, Bear Creek Village. And you could own, of course, the manufactured home, but you're paying lot rent. Well, the lot rent in there went up significantly over 5 years. I mean, there wasn't in there restrictions that it was going to be like, say, I think it started out like 700. And then it was, it wasn't a percentage progressive. Oh no, it all but doubled. Well, these are 55 and over communities. It's not like they added to the amenities. I know that the taxes went up, but it didn't go up that much because I checked. So I didn't really understand that. And that was before I went into real estate, but I was like, mathematically, it really doesn't work. So he left, and that's when they moved to Leesburg. And he sold that manufactured home for more than he paid for it, which is the first time and probably the last time I'd ever seen that, where you sell a mobile home for more than you got. They were really nice mobile homes. Like, they were really nice. I mean, they withstood quite a bit of hurricane weather, because Ormond Beach is like a hop, skip, and a jump from Daytona. It's not far from the intercoastal or the Atlantic. But the lot rent became like out of like, why? So he bought a house on a lot that he owned. But I think it all comes down to lot rent and reading your contract. And even if you have a real estate agent, like say you're having a real estate agent help you look for tiny homes about you need an attorney. You absolutely have to have your own attorney against these developers. Pay the money. It will save you. Definitely get your own attorney. You know what I mean? It's just too much fine print. Get your own attorney. I love the idea of the tiny home. I love the idea of the community of tiny homes, but you need to look at resale, and that's hard. And you need to learn at deed restrictions and who can live there, how long they can stay. Is it 55 and over? Your grandchildren come. What's that look like? Parking. Do they have group parking? Do they have you can call me or you can email me and I'll talk you through it even more. But I think it's really an attorney situation when you have lot rent. It's like, to me, it's like renting a storage unit. Here, all the storage units are basically month-to-month leases, and there's no stopping it. Like, they can, it's $110 to get in for your storage unit. By the time you're done 6 months later, it's $250. So I think you need to have somebody really informed on them and to read that contract. There's a bunch of tiny homes now at the RV resort in Carabel. Oh, you are local. So that is Erwin Jackson, who's a friend of mine, and he was the gentleman who, in the last trial, Charlie got booted for about 10 minutes. He was in the jury pool and was released. And then Dan Rashbaum was like, "Ooh, what's he doing here?" Charlie sees him come in. Erwin Jackson walked. He's a doc. He's a PhD doctor. He's one of the largest landowners here in town. And Erwin Jackson walked in with me this one day of the trial, sat next to me. This big old bailiff comes like, "You need to come here with me." Like, what did he do? Again, they're just picking on people. And Charlie didn't want him there. Well, you don't get, not too bad. They wanted to make sure that Erwin Jackson wouldn't holler out. Really? So anyway, he owns tons of land. He owns a couple RV parks, and he put tiny homes in his too. The rent's amazing. Okay, Debbie, if I'm on in 25 minutes or so. Well, I mean, you think about it. Taxes are in that rent. Utilities they should be in that rent. That's the thing. You need to really look at that lease and see what's included. You thought the guy was looking at someone's crotch. See, I'm glad your minds are dirtier than mine. I didn't see that. So funny to me. It really just depends. Some developers are making Airbnbs. Again, that's the thing. Can they do that? If you don't have a voting right, say, and you buy a tiny home in Tennessee where there's a lot, and then the developer's like, I'm going to own my own and Airbnb it. You're going to have parties, you're going to have people, you're going to have pot, you're going to have whatever. You have no control. When the developer is in control of the homeowners association, you really need to think about it. And they're always in control of the homeowners association in a place like that. Because you don't own land. You don't have a say. And I don't know what the rules are in Tennessee for HOAs. I only know Florida. I know there's a bunch in Arkansas too, when I watch them on YouTube, how people pick them. But I think that's a really important part. It's like any neighborhood with Airbnbs. If they don't have any restrictions on short-term rental, you can be really out of sorts, and it's your neighbor. Like my brother, he lives in a town called New Cumberland, and next door to him, they redid the house and started renting it out as an Airbnb. He was beside himself. Luckily, code enforcement came and stopped it. He was like, Patty, there were like 10 cars. They were parked everywhere. There's an elementary school across the road from him. And I just told him, this is what I would do. And so that's what he did. But it ruins, not that he's going to move, but if, say, you have someone on the street that was going to sell in the near future, then they see all these cars. People know there's Airbnb or some sort of short-term rental that's not typical for the area. It's going to ruin your value in your house. It's going to be harder to find a buyer who's okay with that when you have 20 cars outside. We also had the alligator story on Winchester. You thought it was showing dude looking up skirts. He's got a marble in his hand. That's so funny. Bye, Bilbo's hairy toes. Make HOAs great again. Don't. I don't live in an HOA. I don't qualify for that. No. I won't even give, like, in our neighborhood, they do this neighborhood thing, which is not mandatory. I won't even give to that. I don't want any implication that I'm okay with an HOA coming in, so I don't do anything. If you want me to go pick up litter, I'll do that. But I'm not, no group money. Absolutely not. Plus, how do I know what you're really using the money for? That's the challenge with something like that. You know, they'll send out a thing. We want to beautify the entrance. How much is it? How many quotes did you get? How much? Where's the money being held? You're using other people's money to pay for something. There's some accountability there. I am not that person because I have about 200 questions for this one little letter that you sent out, so I don't do it. Sorry about the Hudson Bay Company going out of business. Is that a reference to Revolutionary War somewhere? Hudson Bay? What's that? Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like the Tea Party. Oh, it's a Canadian holding company. Oh, they're going out of business. Golly, they were around 16 after incorporation by England and Royal Charter in 1670. The company was granted a right sole trade in commerce. Oh my God. Jerry Zucker, an American businessman, bought HBC for $1.1 billion. Then it went to equity partners. Well, that's the end of everything. When it goes to like some hedge fund, you're done. It's horrible. You hate your HOA. They're claiming so much for landscaping. I'm the only one who complains. You're done going to meetings. Yeah, I had to look it up, Kim. I'm sorry. I'm very American. I know nothing. Oh, well, I don't want people. There was here, for whatever reason, embezzling is a big deal. This guy in Franklin County was just arrested for embezzling, I think, $60,000. How did that restaurant not catch it beforehand? His name is Patrick Kelly. He's a friend of mine on Facebook, but I don't know who he is. $60,000. They didn't name the restaurant, but I think I know who it is. $60,000. He was a manager. This is what happens when you don't write your own checks. Oprah teaches that. It's the one thing I've listened to that woman, that and lighting. Write your own checks. Barry Manilow lost almost everything because he didn't write his own checks. How many other people lost millions because they didn't write their own checks? It is the kiss of death. As soon as that happens, they're going to destroy your company. They don't care. It's like a flip for, I tell people it's a flip for investment purposes. They're not using quality product here, okay? They're just trying to get through it. Pay off that hard money loan and get out. If you occupy it for a while, you're going to give a shit a little bit more, aren't you? So when you flip for investment purposes and to high profit, I wouldn't touch that house. Shooting marbles. Thank you, Rebecca. Billy Joel. Yeah, Billy lost to some. We had a guy embezzle 3/4 of a payroll tax deposit. We didn't catch it because the IRS didn't notify us until it was too late. Now he's going 20. Oh, yeah, you told me that. 20 years for crimes. That happens so much here. You know where it happens a lot here? And people who live here can attest to it? Sports. These secretaries and treasurers of these little sporting organizations for kids t-ball, and they're stealing like $30,000. What the fuck? The high schools too. How are you stealing so much money from a high school? Childs, I think, had a couple. Oh, did you see where BlackRock, what did they want to do in Trump's organization? He told them to pound sand. He was like, no. Oh, I know what it was. He wanted to be the contractor to round up all the illegal aliens. And no, we're not doing that. I agree. Ooh, and they arrested him at Miami-Dade on the jetway, just like Donna. Vanguard too, they're huge too. But that BlackRock guy, I can't remember his name because he gagged me, but he wanted to be the contractor. We're trying to get out of the contractors. Like the article I read today about the IRS, I pay a tax. There's like 4 and 5 contracting companies that get paid on that tax. Why? I mean, this should all be in-house and updated, but that's why people are losing their minds, because these massive hundreds of million dollar contracts are being kiboshed. And it's all going to be done in-house. Well, as it should. What are you doing? It's crazy, but there is a lot of embezzling here. Churches. So when I joined this little church, St. John Paul II, it was, I just observe. Right? I just want to hear everything I can hear, and then I can decide if I'm writing you a check. And I knew the lady that was counting the money, that you take at collection. They have 3 people there to watch these collections being counted. 3, not 2, but 3. I was like, that I like. It's hard to get 2 unless you're the Triad, and that makes me rethink everything. But it's 2, and you can probably pass off something, but it's 3 people to count. I thought that was pretty smart. Donna wrote those checks, I know. But you heard her when she's on the stand trying to get the bond, and she's like, well, it was Charlie's money. It was Charlie's money I was writing the checks for. It was his account, his pile of cash. I read that someone who embezzled $700 from a caddy fund. Oh my God. I guess he had a gambling problem. In 2004, I worked at an old Natchez, if I said it right, I hope I did, country club in Franklin. And there was this guy named Jeff Wine, who was a GM, and he went to prison for embezzling money from the country club, including Tennessee Titan players. You worked for the IRS as well as FEMA, such fraud, and that's why I support you long overdue. And I've talked to a couple IRS people here in town, and they agree. FEMA is the worst. I think FEMA is far worse than the IRS. Far, far worse. They send all these contractors in, and it's just rampant. Well, the fact that there was 2 credit cards printed for each federal employee, and not every federal employee is accounted to a purchase card, tells you all you need to know. Oh, really, Rebecca? She says friend sold her house on 38. 38 is near Destin, Santa Rosa Beach. It's beautiful water. It's very beautiful. So many homes turned into Airbnb. It's like my friend has, Lake Martin is a thing in Alabama. I don't know why. I think Alabama is beautiful, but I'm not driving that far to go to a lake that's man-made. Anyway, I like the ocean. And they are Airbnb-ing the shit out of that. People are paying hundreds and hundreds a night. No, I don't want to be with all those people on a lake drinking. Just doesn't, I don't like being around drunks. I don't know if you could tell. I really don't. I just don't like it. You live a mile from the old Natchez Country Club. You had a relative come over from the Orkney Islands. We didn't have geography in school. To work for the Hudson Bay in the 1709. FEMA is one of the largest scams going. April loves golf. Here to share gratitude. Grateful for my darling daughter, her family, my dog, and your sobriety. Well, I congratulate you because it is not easy. I have a very addictive personality. I just know I do, even though like my vice is Diet Coke, which my friend Blaine gave me this, by the way. I will drink Diet Coke. And my Diet Coke came from Culver's. It's not that good, but it's here. I like the fizz. And so I'm really alert. I'm addicted to fizz is what I'm addicted to. But I think if I were drunk, it would be very hard to give it up. If I started smoking a cigarette, I don't know how I'd give it up. Because I really like the cigar, but I don't feel addicted to that. I do like 3 a month. So I can't. I don't understand why FEMA didn't go under after Katrina. People in Liberty County bought those poisonous manufacturers. I know. They were horrible. Forget what that gas was. God, what was that gas? They call them HUD homes. What was that called? Formaldehyde. How could I remember? It was formaldehyde gas. People got really sick. Do you have a Wawa's? I do. We have 2 here, and 1 is going right across the street from my office. Very excited. You love Culver's frozen custard. Today's frozen custard, we didn't have it because it's Lent, so I'm not doing it, is deviled food cake. So it had cake in the custard. We have a Wawa 2 being built. Yes, yours is right outside of the car. It's a mess. I mean, they can have that one. Because that intersection is deadly to begin with, at that light at Killarn and Thomasville Road. This one's going to be at the corner of Old St. Augustine. They've cleared the land and Capitol Circle Southeast. Yes, formaldehyde. Thank you, John. I should have looked first. Patty, I went to Ireland last week for my birthday, and I don't drink. I struggle to find another sober person. It was anticlimactic for sure. So I got a house under contract. I had the buyer. Well, I was on with you this past weekend, and the agent was in Ireland celebrating. She's a German girl. She was born in Germany, but she was in Ireland celebrating St. Patty's Day. Thank you. I can smell crazy a mile away. Thank you so much. And Diet Coke is leaching the calcium out of your bones. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's not funny, but it is when you read it like that. I found out the hard way and have never had any kind of soda after breaking your leg. Ooh. We do not have Sheets, but there is Sheets. I know the Sheets family. I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and near there, or the Sheets started the Sheets store, and we don't have Sheets, but they do. Now Sheets is like, I think the furthest south Sheets is going is North Carolina. But guess what we're getting? The closest one is 500 miles from Tallahassee, and it is North Carolina. Sheets. I'm not going to Wawa until people chill out. People were literally in line to get inside Thanksgiving Day at the Wawa in Northwest Capitol Circle. Have you been to the one on Blairstone Road? It's not bad. I get my gas there because once you hit 1,000 points, you get 40 cents off a gallon. Cheers. Buc-ee's. That's what we're getting. Destination. Who comes to Tallahassee? Dude, this whole community, they're like, we are a destination. What are we a destination for? Oh, my hair. Trials? We're a destination for trials? What are we a destination for? Yeah, but we're getting a Buc-ee's. You think, oh man, two dead walking out off of the Wawa onto Capitol Circle Northwest this past week. Two just walking across. I don't know if they're stoned, high, what, but they're just walking into the middle of the road. So you're getting a Buc-ee's in Nashville. Good for you. I mean, I like them. I think it's an amazing watch. I could sit there and watch the people in and out, like boom, 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 boom. The way they have that designed and the way they move people, absolutely incredible. It's a logistics dream just to watch. The circle, how they move in and out of the restrooms, how they move in and out, like you're picking your brisket sandwich up, everything's in a circle, move, 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 move. It's amazing. You have a Buc-ee's 7 miles from you. I went to one. Where was it? It had to be in North Georgia where I was going home. I'm pretty sure I was going. No. We were driving to Chattanooga. And there was one, they were putting in a car wash, like a car wash, but for coaches, like for RVs to get washed. I was like, you are brilliant. Yes, you do have Buc-ee's because they started, right? Didn't they start there? The Apple Store of gas stations. We don't have an Apple. How we don't have Lexington, Kentucky, the capital, has an Apple store. We do not. Wawa is a nice gas station with food, and their subs are good. And I had a cheesesteak this week. I had a half cheesesteak. I didn't eat the other half till the next day. But that banging, and they put marinara on it, just like up north. I tell you. You haven't had any store-bought beverages in 2 years. Well, April, if you come to Tallahassee, I will buy you a strawberry milkshake. And there's plenty. Oh, we have good strawberry milkshakes. What is a Wawa? It's a bird. A Wawa is a bird. It's also the name of a town in Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia. And they opened a convenience store back in the day. And their food is Philly food. It's banging. It's really, really good. You like a sub? The rolls are just coffees and lattes are half the price of Starbucks. Smoothies, breakfast is good. Lunch 24 hours a day. It's nice. They have Philly pretzel. Love the knot. Fresh food. They have fruit. They have fresh like salads. The best potato chips you'll ever find because they're all from up north. Fantastic. Wawa is also a guitar pedal, so there you go. You love my banner. Well, I just thought I needed to speak up for myself because I don't. You will come to golf if you provide a milkshake and a spare room. You won't be home till dark. Well, that's fine with me. And we have a few. Oh, we're getting they're not finished it yet, but we have a nice golf course coming. But Southwood Golf Course, which is near me, is nice. That's where FSU golfers play, and we've had quite a few of our golfers make it to the big leagues, make it to the big time. No Buc-ee's in Western New York. Reason all businesses leave New York State, just like California, because your government officials are idiots. That is true. It's really bad. I only know the Ithaca area, Corning, and the food is amazing. The wine is amazing. It's beautiful. Sunrise is like I'd not seen in a long time. It's beautiful there. Buc-ee's is the coolest gas station I've ever seen in St. Augustine. It is. It's amazing to watch. I think just how they move people, how they logistically laid that out. Where I mean, how many gas pumps do they have? It's just the parking lot layout, in and out, the way they have the exits. It's just something to behold. How you can have that many people. How many go through a day? Like, how many go? On average, the Buc-ee's in Daytona Beach, Florida, draws 14,794 visitors per day, which translates to 616 customers per hour. That's over 10 per minute. That's just Daytona. That location is 53,000 square foot of travel convenience center with 104 fuel pumps right off of 95. At Warner Robins, which is the other one I went to, is that Warner Robins? Yeah. In 2022, that's the one where they're building the car wash for the coaches, for the big RVs. That one in 2022 had more than 7,300 vehicles per day. That is just incredible. Buc-ee's 7 months ago, Midland, Odessa, draws an average of 6 million per location. They're saying on average of 16,400 per day. Over, what's it say? Over 80%. I have to click on the link to get the rest of it. Over 80% of the people who stop at them have traveled a minimum of 100 miles, which explains why they tend to build along major highways between major population centers, even though Tallahassee isn't one, as there is a high number of vehicle traffic. Absolutely incredible. How many people they are able to move in and out, and you don't really wait. You don't really have to wait. You're just moving. You're just constantly moving in and out. Oh, love it. You don't like Buc-ee's, says Leslie. Makes a stop so long because of traffic in the parking lot. See, I don't see it that way. I see it as strategery. Like I park in a certain area in Buc-ee's so I can in and out. And I'm always stopping at the pets part, which is usually really nice. If you have to walk your dog, it is really, really nicely laid out. And that's usually where I park. Are Sheetz and Buc-ee's alike? No. But Sheetz is like Wawa. Sheetz has, what do they call their sandwiches? It's like, Sheetz food is, what do they call their subs? Their sub is like, oh, the MTO, made to order. They're about the same price, but Wawa, to me, the sandwiches are better than Sheetz. The Wawa is bigger than Sheetz. There's probably more Sheetz in a location. We also have what's called Rutters, Rutters up north. They're good too. When I'm on a road trip, my goal is to get there fast. Not stop at a Walmart. And I will go without pissing to get to the Buc-ee's. Like, I will hold it. So I go to Buc-ee's and watch people. But I really like to watch them. Oh my God, I can't. It's amazing to me. They stopped a Sheetz gas station near where I lived. I think the lot was too small for the proposed. Well, that's how I feel about where the Wawa is going near Rebecca. I'm like, it's a dangerous location. That whole strip right there is very dangerous. But I did appreciate how they put it in perpendicular to the road. It's not, doesn't front the road. It's kind of, it looks like it's a smaller building too. You don't see road trips together. As fast as I drive, but I don't get a speeding ticket. As fast as I drive, I think you'd be okay. Plus, I'm very strategic. I got to get the Diet Coke. I don't eat their sandwiches because I don't like to eat a sandwich and drive. Don't ask me why I don't. But I do like their Rice Krispies. I just in and out. Emily D. Baker says she routes all of her road trips Buc-ee's. That's a long way to go. I can't do that. You would. Too. Oh my God, it's only like 20. It's like if you've ever driven 95 and it's this south of the border experience, which I've never stopped at because it doesn't look like an experience for me. But the billboards, like you're 200 miles out and it's like you're 200 miles from south of border. And then it's like 195 and 190. It goes on and on and on until you're there. That's how I feel about Buc-ee's. It's like, I don't buy anything. Like the stuff, but I do look. And I have my dog. It's not a big deal. But I will wait. Because it's so clean when you go inside. You don't have to question your life. South of the border is a dump. But I just remember it growing up, driving down. Oh, it's so funny. You have questions about your Wawa? What are your questions? George Foreman passed away. Aww. So funny. What talking about marketing? No, that's okay. I don't stop at anything in south of the border. I didn't know there were actually people there. Like if I usually when I would drive up and back, I drove at night when I could see. There were no people there. The lights were on. Where is everyone? Oh, yeah, the accidents. I go the back way. I'm not doing it. You see the signs. You do. You see the signs for hundreds of miles, and then you see south of the border. It's horrible. I know it's been at least 10 years since I've had any soda. Well, where I'm from, we call it a soft drink. So makes you feel better. And even when I go out to dinner, like if I go out to, we have a place called Miller's Ale House, which I like. I'll get a club soda. Club soda with lime. What's this, Debbie? I don't know what you're talking about, but someone almost died. TCW guest, love Florida rest stops. There's an awesome one on Highway 331. Always stop there. Actually, that might be in Alabama near the one. I know which one you mean. Gibby, what is going on? I used to be a manager at the one near until I got robbed 15-minute butcher knife to your throat. What? Debbie. You're not stopping at Walmart. So, Leslie, if I'm driving to Pennsylvania, I'm leaving, I'm going I-10. I cut across so I don't have to deal with Jacksonville. I cut across 301. There are places I stop every time because I don't normally get to see them. I'm in the car by myself for 20 hours. I have to stop somewhere. Have you considered my suggestion of Simontelli case with Roberta? She's a callous hoe for sure. I haven't watched it at all. I have schoolwork. I have Adelson. I have a company. I have been so busy defending myself from YouTubers. All sodas or Cokes are in Texas. That's the way they are in Louisville too. Everything is a Coke. One of the best photos you have, you're going to have to get that out, True Crime Wifey, and post it. It's with George Foreman. We call it pop in Michigan. When I'm out east, I say soda. So you're bilingual. What? Debbie, you need to write all of this in one story, not break it up. It's too hard for me to read it. They are East Coast, Melissa. You know, where everything happens. It's the East Coast. You refuse to drive the interstate anymore. You only go back roads, even from Tennessee to South Georgia. So when I was buying my nail, I got new nail polish. When I was buying my Vera, which is a 93 Land Cruiser, have you noticed the new Land Cruisers? They look just like mine, except they have better paint and not a diesel. I don't think they come in a diesel, do they? I wonder how much they are. Anyway, I was buying it, and it was near Middle Tennessee University, where I went up. And I had to drive home the back way. I had never driven on the right side of a road before. In the right, the steering wheel's on the right side. I had no idea how it was going to go. I didn't have cruise control. Took me, they're only, MSRP is 56. But they are, I had no idea. So I took the long way home, and I will never do it again. It was just too much. I figured they'd be about 70. That's what they are. A 7-seater. How much is one? I paid $18 for mine in 2020. From 56. Don't ever believe it. It is 70,000. They're pretty cars. I just don't like Toyota. If I'm going to go big, I'm not going to go Toyota. I don't like their screen size. I don't like, when you're backing up, it's just this tiny little screen. I like it. But I do like my Land Cruiser. I've been driving it all week because I needed a new windshield. So in Florida, if your windshield cracks and you have full coverage, you get a new windshield without it dinging your insurance, and there's no deductible. So I had to get my new windshield in for my truck, but I've been driving that Land Cruiser all week, and I love it. It's so nice. And it's not like it's like driving a Jeep feel. Like you bounce a lot in the vehicle. It's not smooth, but it's so fun. It's so fun to pull up. You're on the right side of the vehicle, and you pull up right next to someone, and they're like, why is she? Why is she there? You can't see the chat. You're walking your dog. And on your phone with no glasses. Boy, be careful. Don't trip on something. You always drive overnight now and stick to the interstates. Well, you must be younger than me because I cannot stay awake. I used to do it all the time. You make the chicken on a beer can. If you've ever had the barbecue, I dump half the can. Leaves my son in shock. He loves beer. Don't dump the beer. You know what's a good trip? Save the beer. Put a little bit in scrambled eggs. Light and fluffy, delicious. Betty, one of my 17-year-old, I think you mean Patty, but one of my 17-year-old customers the other day got in her Land Cruiser, and first time I noticed the steering wheel was on the right. Ooh, next time they come to your shop, take a picture of it for me. Was mine an import? Yes. It's the VIN, not everything's in Japanese. The only reason I knew where the VIN number was is a client who knew where the VIN number. It is stamped in the wheel well. It's not, the plate. The plates it has plates by the engine block, but it's not the VIN number. It is literally stamped in the wheel well. Very interesting. Oh, you go to their house every 4 weeks. Ooh, take a picture. Probably in better shape than mine. It is. It has a wooden steering wheel, which I love. It's just fun. And my son put in a new radio, so I have Bluetooth. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get cruise control. If I could get cruise control in it, I would sell my truck. It's so efficient because it is a diesel. It just turns on a dime. Has space. It has the jump seats in the back, which remind me of, yes, I worked on C-130s before you two decide to tell me I didn't. And so it has jump seats in the back, which reminds me of the C-130. You love your Bronco. I know you do. You'll never sell the car. I love mine. I was at a Murder K to get a Diet Coke the other day. And this gentleman got out and I get outside the right side. And he was like, I want this car. And I was like, thank you. He was super nice about it. And he was like, where'd you get it? And I said, Tennessee. And that guy imported it. He was in the Air Force. So when he was over in Okinawa or wherever, he had it imported over. And it had been in a storage unit for a long time. It's nice. I don't use cruise control much. Mind you, I'm not on the highway. I use cruise control going home. Any straightaway, I use cruise control. Plus, it's hard on your hip. It doesn't, it has fuel injection, but it's not the kind where it coasts. Like if you press on the gas pedal and you lift up, the car stops. It doesn't, you're constantly having to feed it. So it's hard on my hip. I drive a 70 Toyota Corona. Let me show the audience. Woo, girl. I saw a Tercel the other day. I was like, dang, girl. How much is one of those? God, I wouldn't fit in it. It's like before the Corollas, but smaller. The lowest sale is $10,000, about $14,000. Wow. Oh, they sell them at auction. Bring a trailer, it says. God, that is a cute car. When I sold cars, which I did, Hartman Toyota, Jeep AMC, they had Tercels. And I like the little Tercel. That is a cute car. I love that cream colored. Love it. It's actually made out of steel, so is mine. Mine is a, let me show you. Sure. Mine is a KZJ. KZJ 78 diesel Prado, which is now a Lexus model. This is kind of what, if mine had better paint. Mine needs painted. This is what mine looks like. But it's steel. His is automatic. Mine is automatic. Mine's a 4x4. Oh, it's right side driving too. Nice. Oh, he doesn't have windows though. Mine has windows. That's what mine looks like. I don't have the cover over the wheel. I don't have that. Mine has windows. Oh, that's the sunroof. Mine doesn't look like that. Mine looks like the interior of a Miami Subs. Do you remember Miami Subs in the blue and this is close. I don't have a white roof, but I do like that. Right side driving too. Well, there's a few here in town. That's what I have. This. Doesn't that look like Miami Subs back in the day? Oh, I have fewer kilometers than he does. This is mine. Exactly the same look. Mine's a turbo. His wheels are nicer. I need new tires. But I'm not getting tires till I paint it, and then I'll pick them out. It's all in kilometers. It's very British looking. That's why I call it Vera. I like his hubs. I like that. Do you know how hard it is to find a battery? I have to go to O'Reilly's for everything. O'Reilly's has it. I get the I had to get the alternator from like Pakistan. Your truck has a cracked windshield. I swear trucks get cracked windshields a lot. Well, it doesn't have one anymore, but it did. Batteries are freaking expensive, especially when it's supposed to go on the right side. It's the mirror image of everyone else's, so you can only get one. But O'Reilly's really good about it because I had to go through two, and I don't know why. But I went through two batteries in a short time, and I just basically got a new battery. You loved Miami Subs, but that's what the interior looks like. I went to one of these car shows with it, and this kid walks up, and he's like, that looks like Miami Subs. And I'm, oh, it does. It's nice, though. It's fun. It's different. I looked everywhere for one. That's why I drive Tennessee. But it has like little things that you don't think about. Here's where that hatch is. Let me show you. The jump seats. Has storage under the floor. I mean, I could sleep in it. Put an air mattress back there. My ceiling's still in great shape. It looks very similar to this. Sound like my mother. It's called a soft drink because it's soft with your bones. This info coming from a smoker. I swear. Oh, you know what I saw since you said Buick? A Riviera today. It was white. I remember when Buick Riviera was the #1 stolen vehicle, like in the 80s. You had a Buick 76 LeSabre LTD. It was so nice. One owner, 5,000 kilometers, only driven on Sundays. Plastic on the back seat. Nice. The guy who owned Miami Subs is supposedly... Do you know what that poor man has been through to build that Fazoli's? This town, what they make you go through to build anything. It's crazy. It's been Publix, because Publix owns the land where that Fazoli's is being built. And then the county. O'Reilly's is your favorite. It's been amazing for this vehicle. Really has. And I have a mobile mechanic. Matt Oswalt is his name, Oswalt, and he comes out and does anything I need to it. So I don't really have to take her anywhere. It's nice. It's kind of like minivans used to be with the jump seat. Oh, I didn't know that. Yours was gray. Are Fazoli's still in business? Yeah, they are. They had one when I first moved here, and then this threat of having one. For, 2 years they've had that sign up, but now it's starting. You've got, and what do you do with all these cars? I've got an 88 Buick Park Avenue, 165 miles, use it for airport rides. Dude, I know, Doris, I know. I was making fun of it. Sorry. Didn't land well, did it? Oh, listen to you, Patricia. Truck windscreens crack more than often because the engine is closer to it than an average car. Therefore, the heat from the engine causes temperature fluctuations in the glass, causing it to weaken. That's why I do this. Do you know the shit I learned here? April loves cars more than Patty, and I like cars. You're so disgusted with the Reed case you're starting another trial. No, that thing, I wish somebody would do a whole thing on Massachusetts law and why it's so different than every other state. It's bizarre to me. Like it's like old England. That's what it reminds me of. You're a retired nurse. You drive old people places. I want to look up at that car. 88 Buick Park Avenue. I gotta go. Ooh, that is a big old car, isn't it? That's like one of the nuns when I went to Sisters of St. Joseph drove this, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Sisters of St. Joseph at Chestnut Hill drove this car. That is exactly what it reminds me of. Look at those wheels. Do you know what my dad had that Caprice Classic station wagon, 9-passenger, had wheels like this. Do you know what it's like to clean those? It's not easy. In Alberta, we go through windshields because they're free. They are not free. Similar to your Buick. Wow. Buick makes a pretty car. You didn't realize how big Miller's Ale House was. So big. Started in, I think, my husband lived in the neighborhood that the guy who started it lived, and it was Tequesta, Florida. Yours is mint oatmeal color, same wheels. Wow. You took what year Tornado? How many years did they make them? I miss an Oldsmobile. There's a couple. I miss Pontiacs too, because they had a really nice body style. Oh my God. What a cool car. Full-size personal luxury car. What year? 73. 73. When cars were my neighbors across the street have one of these, I think. Look at the back of that. Do you guys ever watch that car auction? I don't know the name, but I watch it when I'm smoking cigars with the guys. And that is amazing. That's a hoopty, man. Look at that. What was that? What was that crime show from the 70s where the guy was a pimp and he wore pink? He wore platforms. It was a police show. Was it Kojak? Wasn't that? I thought he drove one like this. I was watching Room 222 today on YouTube. Shafts, Vice, Beretta. It was a Beretta. Pretty sure it was Beretta. Was it Beretta? I know. Starsky and Hutch had this. Oh, yeah, they had it. It's true. No, it was like, what was his name? Wasn't Mac? He had bell bottoms. Where's my dad when I need him? He was a... He wore like a furry tall hat. Rockford? Huggy Bear. Patricia. Patricia. It was Huggy Bear. It was Starsky and Hutch, so it wasn't. Okay. It was Huggy Bear on Starsky. Very good. Thank you. True story. I'll be crying. I can't believe she let Alan Jackson stay in that court knowing he's lying. That's really bizarre. It was built like an army tank. So that's what I was going to get at with this Land Cruiser was people pull out in front of me. I feel like I should be putting a sign in the front. Don't pull out in front of me. It takes longer to stop it. It's true. But I would need a team. Like, I can't remember anything. I know what it is, but I can't say it. She does not want that to be delayed. Oh, I love Jim Rockford. Love Jim Rockford. You know what I found in my truck? Oh, no, my truck, in my garage was an old $6 million man doll. Cars have no infotainment system. I hear people like on Twitter, they're like, I want a car that has no infotainment system, that has nothing. I'm like, you can go buy one. It might be hard to get it insured, but you can go buy one. You had an 8-track in your Buick. Nice. Thank you, Skeeter. Huggy Bear. You guys coming in. I'm going to show you who Huggy Bear is, in case you didn't know. This is him. Antonio Fargas. What a great name. He was the informant. Oh, here it is. It's a great car. I didn't watch the movie of it. I don't want to. Don't ruin it for me. You had 78 Celica. Do you know what that would be worth right now? I don't know. So my ringtone is the Beretta ringtone. Is the Beretta song that Sammy Davis Jr. sang. No, I don't watch new TV. I watched like 2 seasons of Yellowstone and then I quit. You're a Golden Girls addict. I could see that. I love it. It is fun. I like 2.5 Men. Okay, so I was watching Room 222, if you remember, with Karen Valentine. And James L. Brooks wrote that too. I was like, how old is James L. Brooks? I mean, he's got to be old. 84. But he did 222. I was like, what? He's been around forever. And I mean, he's just walking in stores, walking out. No one knows he is. It was created by James L. Brooks. I couldn't believe it when I saw his Michael Constantine's in it, Lloyd Haynes. Like, it's so good. I think it's so good. You can't buy it. But it has it, like it was recorded on a recording. 1969. It's only on 5 seasons. But he's 84 years old and must have been working his whole damn life. You like call the midwife. You know, my daughter and her daughters are watching that together. So I think that's cool. You had a pimped out Platinum Explorer all-wheel drive, and I love my plain Jane two-door Bronco. I don't think it's really plain Jane, is it? I don't think it is. Didn't you say the trim package you have on that Bronco, they don't even make anymore? What'd you say? A Honda. You had an 82 blue Honda Prelude. I like that too. With a moonroof. It's nice. I like Big Bang Theory too. My dad really loved it. And we watched that as I was growing up. And Benny Hill. My mother didn't appreciate that my father let us watch Benny Hill, but we watched it. I had that as my ringtone for a while. You had an 84 Prelude. Oh my God, love that car. One just like it. Yours was a 5-speed. You watch auctions. I hope when they bring it back, they don't douche it up and make it not look like it did. I mean, I know they got to worry about all the aerodynamics. Oh, it had the flip. I thought it had the flip headlights. But that's the way the Celicas were too. They had the flip headlights. Dang, Skeeter. An Audi Fox 74. That's tiny too. Like, well, you all must be so tiny. You had a Ford. Susan is tiny. She can wear that car. You had flip red headlights. You loved your Honda Accord. The baby lasted 350,000 miles. Oh, the body wears out before the engine does. You want a car with AC and FM. I'm telling you, auctions, you can get a really nice car that's all done, not like mine. I mean, mine only needs paint and a little bit of body work, but that's it. But you can buy a really nice car for under $20,000. But I would stick with Toyota, something like that, where the engine's going to survive. They discontinued your model, but it's like all manual. There's nothing. Oh, it's nothing luxurious, but it does have a great screen and great features. Ford has a good screen. My Ram has a really good screen. I mean, it's huge. Change the font. See, I always wanted a Saab my whole life until I sat in one. Then I was like, why? It was the entire dashboard was in my knees. I'm just too tall for one. You loved having a 5-speed. It's great until you need to drive cross country. And it's not. Your Beamer is going to die soon. Oh, why? I'm sure you can get some money for it. Grabber Blue, you drive a tricked out 6-speed Mustang. I drove that Mustang E. It's a electric Mustang. When I was up north, I rented one. It was nice. It did make me sick to my stomach because it was like we're floating. Of course, the speeding was so easy. I thought I don't have a ticket. I'm going to get a ticket driving this car. It just flew. It was amazing to drive. It had amazing speed, amazing sound system. But I felt like I was hovering on the road and I was making myself nauseous driving. You have a great sob story, literally. My friend had one. We were 17, sat in our car outside a liquor store waiting for someone to buy us liquor. We got back to our house and all our hubcaps were gone. Did they fall? Oh, they took them. You didn't even notice? Oh, it cost a fortune to repair. Denny convinced you to buy it. Well, if you go to that intersection where that Wawa's coming in, someone will be buying you a new one. So you just hang tight. Just like go through the intersection a couple times. It was a good show, and you can watch it on YouTube. I think, Rebecca, I think we could solve that. Just gonna get a new one. Oh, you didn't like your 74? I'm gonna look it up because I don't remember that. I was 7. Old Regency. Oh, that's a big one too. I like those cars that had the vinyl tops, and you had to put that like a Chrysler Cordoba, Corinthian leather. I like them with the vinyl. 27,000 and 98 Regency. Bringatrailer.com. Sold for 27. This thing is sweet though. If you guys ever come here and you have time, you got to go to the car museum. Look at this one. Oh my God. That is just beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the chrome. Oh, the hardtop sedan. It's not vinyl. It is absolutely beautiful. Landau. If I had money, that's what I would be doing. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Perfect. Car left the factory finished in cameo white with the tan Landau top and features an hood ornament, chrome bumpers. Yeah, I would need a garage. I wouldn't trust that. Oh. What more could you want? I could drive up north in something like that. This is in perfect condition. The steering wheel is kind of grippy. That's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. That's a beautiful paint job. Oh, yeah, Jack Ewing from Dallas. Landau tops. We can't see it. I eventually clicked over. You have money, but you're cheap. So buy a used car, but get a good one. Get a fun one. I like Bob's little convertible Mercedes. I just love the 70s vehicles. I wish they'd make cars great again. Like metal. God. My sister had, I think it was maybe it was some 88 version. And the doors opened Like the door handles match, like we're close together. There's a big old car. I don't know what it was. It was just that ugly silver. I don't remember what it was. Never buy a new car. I buy a new car because you may have a depreciating asset. I have tax write-off. My first car was an 80s Chevette, 4-speed manual. It wasn't a Lincoln. I thought it was a Buick. It was a Pontiac. It was whatever, Delta 88, whatever that is. Delta 88. Oh, it's an Oldsmobile. Huh. But she had it. Of course, she bought it used. But it was, I thought the doors, she tore that thing up. Maybe it was really old, but I thought the doors were, it was a 4-door. I just remember it was huge. It was the boat. She had a boat. Delta 88. God, that sounds like a drug. My family have been in the car business all my life, and we never bought new because we knew. Your Hubs has 67 GTO, because my dream car, if I were 16 again, it would be to get a Cuda, which looks similar to the GTO. But I like the Cuda Fastback. Purple. You know what else is a depreciation asset? Clothes. So if I buy cars and I don't buy clothes, yeah. Suicide doors. Is that what they called it? It wasn't a Lincoln, but she'd have money. She was 9 years older than me. Why do they call them suicide doors? They had them on Ford Thunderbirds too. I didn't know that. The Impala had it. 64 Impala had it. Was this ugly, like gold? Yeah, maybe it's just in my mind. Why would they call it a suicide door? I don't like the Tesla that has the butterfly or whatever they call it. I don't like that at all. I'm not getting stuck in that thing. You can buy a 19 Lincoln Continental 80th anniversary with they're calling it a coach door. I guess suicide was out. It's funny though. The DeLorean, yeah, I don't like that. I want to get stuck in there. The Honda Element had suicide doors. We have one, but rarely drive it. Good Lord, true crime. What car don't you have? Gibby is the most popular color because it's actually easy to keep clean. Honda Element. Is that the boxy car? Is that a... Thank you, Rebecca. I'm going to go soon too, so that's good. Because you can open the front and the back at the same time. I won't go there. Just gonna leave that. Leave that set. Nice Range Rover. Nice, Jebby. Scott has a new Range Rover. It's a sport. It's a Land Rover, not a Range Rover. It's just a Land Rover. There's a couple DeLoreans here in town, I believe. Element is considered a cult car. I remember like purple. My family bought GMs because really it's what they had until they had a Honda. You have 4 Hondas. Okay, let me look. And then I gotta go. I gotta go so early for this. I mean, yard sale. I literally bought hair ties so I did not have to do my hair in the morning. Oh, Bling, are you still on? It's beautiful. It is literally beautiful. So beautiful. You had a Vallow Corsa years ago. The glow plugs went bad. So I rigged a button in the glove box. You had to hold to start the car. I thought it was the coolest thing. Well, I don't know what that is. Well, I think we talked about this before, didn't we? Yeah, it came right up on my... It's a subcompact. It's an opal. We had opals here, is what we called them. We didn't have it. Super cute. Didn't you say it was like yellow or something? I shared a picture. That is a tiny freaking car, but you guys only have tiny cars. Like, if I were to rent a car in Italy, would I fit in it? Your husband has a Moonchild, has a 67 VW yellow bug. We towed it with our RV and drove it all over Colorado. You are present. Look at that car. The van. Oh. No headrests. Right, no seatbelts. Do you guys have to wear seatbelts in Europe? Is it a thing? I know, I hate it. I won't be able to fit in the car. My son is 6'5.5". And they went to Ireland over Thanksgiving. And he had to buy like a truck, or had to rent like this big car to get around. They do have seatbelts. Look at how beautiful that thing is. You see my big ass in that? Hilarious. It has AC and heat too. Those split screen are a fortune now. That is in beautiful shape. If it has the 12 windows, you cannot get them for love nor money. It does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. It does have the 12 windows. Let's see how much it is. 12 window VW Plus. Anywhere from 25,000 to 100,000. A 1960 microbus is $86,000. A 67 Samba is $106,000. And the 67 double cab custom, oh, that's the is $161,000. So look, $89,000 for this 59, which is what this looks like. 59. 89,000. 59 VW 11 window. Oh, because one in the back. Look at how it flips up. Patricia, does hers flip up? I'm going to lose my StreamYard if I don't stop this. I think it does. I like the solid wheels. Wow. 1959. If they made it today, it would be that much. That's true. 89,000. The car's on the other side of the road, outside a specialist mechanic's place. He only deals with classics. It's absolutely beautiful shape. How long has she owned it? She's been offered over 120,000 pounds for it. Ooh, girl. Gives me chills, like literally. Makes me freeze. Your VW is called a rabbit, but it runs like a turtle. Those campers that have little ones down the side are incredibly rare. It's beautiful. Does she just drive it everywhere? I saw that. Did you see that, Jet? It's a far cry from a C-130. Ages, but she never used it till this spring. Yeah, I wouldn't sell it either. If it's 100,000, it's not a proper one. It's a fakeish Chinese one. VW were never fast. Well, this isn't about driving fast. This is just about the experience. Woo! How much would that be in US dollars? Anyone know? It's because Trump is number 47. I haven't looked at my phone, so bling, I didn't look at it. My phone is dead. This phone is completely dead. I don't have, his phone is dead. I'm so sorry. It is. I don't know why it's not working on this thing that's supposed to charge, because it's not. I think my outlets are failing me. Maybe I'm not supposed to leave this on all the time. I don't know. Nope. No power to it. I thought it was being charged all this time, and it's a brick. When we first got married, my husband had a VW Scirocco. I remember those. Someone stole it, and he had it fixed after it was stripped to nothing. It never ran right. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, the F-47, they showed a picture of it today. I mean, it looks like a stealth. I'm surprised Boeing won it. Have you ever seen a stealth fly? We had a stealth here for an FSU game. It came and did a flyover. It was absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Thank you. I'll look at it. Lady in the van. Sounds very depressing, though. Is it? Lady in... When I put it, it came up lady in the yard. That's even worse. Oh, no. I love Maggie. Oh, I'm definitely going to watch it. I love Maggie Smith. You love the Hellcats. This is what I worked on. The War Horse. Seems like another 12 lives ago. Ours was called Special Ops. We had it was the 193rd Special Operations, and they were green when I first started, and then it was Desert Storm, and they painted them tan. I could taxi one at the time. It's absolutely so badass. 400 miles an hour. So fun. They put these giant radios inside. I don't know if they'll have them. You walked in. See if it, I don't know if they'll ever tell you, that, but they had these massive, it was a room inside the plane, and the team was called the Boys in the Box. And you could hear it. It was amazing. I had way too much fun, but I wasn't a tramp. Have a great night, everyone. Oh, I missed you. Your brother flew F-16s. The Lady in the Van is amazing. Well, if I can't sleep tonight, I'm going to watch it. It was fun to be with you guys. And I know that my nemesis, just kidding, is going to be on tomorrow night, and I shall be on after. So I will see you tomorrow night. I will not be publishing it, so just keep an eye out, because if I publish it, then she's going to change her time and blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to go on. Good night, everyone. It's 11:30. Thank you for so much fun. Oh, I have stars. Wait. Leslie, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. I just saw that. Thank you so much. And True Crime Wifey has been a member for 7 months. Thank you. And Mr. C, how sweet are you? Thank you. And Bling is 7 months. She's the size of an avocado. Thank you for the memberships, Bling. That just cracked me up. She's the size, when you're pregnant, you're the size of an avocado. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.